And joining me is my colleague Amritpal Singh live from Israel. Biden has landed in Israel. What are his engagements going to be in the city?
Well, he's meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and holding a meeting with him. The Prime Minister, I think at this meeting, both sides would try and exchange notes. He meets and then he goes back. Earlier, he was expected to go to Amman in Jordan and meet with the Jordanians and the Palestinian Authority leaders. But that now is not happening. The Jordanians have said that there is no point in meeting President Biden. So that has been called off. That is what we are hearing on the ground. And he goes back from here. Now, his meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He's expected, both sides are expected to exchange notes, share their assessment of the situation, discuss the developments, including the one of the hospital bombing, the continued military campaign, what Hamas is doing, the hostage crisis, and how, most importantly, what can be done to diffuse the humanitarian crisis. Diffuse the larger military crisis would come up in talks, but one doesn't know if right now the situation is ripe for the Israelis to agree to stopping that, because they seem to be in no mood of that. But I think President Biden would want to wrangle out some sort of promise of allowing aid inside Gaza for the humanitarian crisis unfolding there. Ramesh?
Amrit, fill us in, if you will, on all that's happened since that deadly explosion at that hospital in Gaza in terms of its human and political costs, the claims and counterclaims, and the reactions to it among the neighboring countries in particular.
Almost everybody has condemned the attack. The Arab world surely has condemned the attack. The Israelis and the Hamas understandably are accusing each other of the attack, because such an attack on a hospital cannot be justified. Even if the Israelis did it, they'll not admit it. If they did it by mistake, their intended target was something else, they will not admit it. If that it was a mistake, because it's too costly a mistake. War is not just the physical war or the military war. The war is also a war of narratives, a war of what perspective you are offering to the world, because you draw international support on that. The international support for Israel after the horrifying attacks by the Hamas last Saturday did generate a lot of sympathy for the Israelis and Israeli position of giving a reprisal to that, or retaliating to that by launching a military offensive against them. But as time passes, it is dwindling, and these kind of attacks will again take away the moral authority that Israel exerts to defend itself, because these are innocent civilians being killed. So the world will start speaking to it. So these acquisitions and counter acquisitions are almost like reading a script, as happens in every war. Both sides accuse each other. There are allegations, counter allegations, etc. So you've already said shared what the Israelis have done. The Israelis have put out videos and said that we have signals intelligence and technical information where we trace it to being an Islamic Jihad rocket, and it was not our missile that did it. The Palestinians, the Hamas you put out the Hamas's version too. So that is playing by script, Ramesh.
And finally, Amrit, before we let you go, what more can you tell us about the status of humanitarian relief meant for people in Gaza? I know we've spent the last week or so in Israel, but not in Gaza. Will the trucks lining up at the Rafah crossing be allowed to enter the enclave anytime soon?
I think that's what President Biden would want to wrangle out of Prime Minister Netanyahu during his meeting, the ongoing meeting right now. He would want Israel to allow, the aid to go in. Give some if Israel is in no mood for ceasefire, which it is not, at least allow some window for aid to go in, because there is a huge problem of medicines, of drinking water has finished. People are drinking from non-drinking water sources, so that gives the threat of waterborne diseases. Anyway, strikes are happening, people are dying, displacement is happening. There is this whole refugee crisis of internally displaced people, etc. So it is a huge, very grave humanitarian situation that is unfolding there. Crisis. To use Antonio Guterres' words, it's on the verge of abyss. So that is what the situation is. And I think aid for right now, there are trucks lined up at the Rafah border. But will the Israelis concede? How much will they concede? What would be the contours of that? Will it be in exchange for something? All those negotiations would be happening behind closed doors right now, Ramesh.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Amrit, thank you for now. Appreciate it.